Hi, welcome to Craft with Kathie. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to do a cool project tonight. If you are limited budget-wise for doing some DIY or actually storage-wise for storing your crafts and your finished products, this might just be right up your alley. I'm going to put the link in the first comment below, so if you want to check this out or see anything else about it, go ahead and do it. We're in week 3 of our Black Friday specials, and there are some things that are 50% off, and if you are a club member, you get an additional 10% off of any of the sale prices. So you might want to check that out. This is a found surface, and this is actually October's Club Couture transfer, Mighty Oaks from Tiny Acorns Grow. There we go. This transfer can be cut apart on the cut line, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Our transfers are made out of vinyl and silkscreen. The vinyl is the teal color. What you're seeing as white on this transfer is actually the silkscreen, and the silkscreen allows us to get beautiful clarity and crisp images. And I just need to see where my sawtooth hanger is here. Where's my top? Okay, this is my top. So I'm going to go this way. And this is chalkboard, so I don't need to wax it, but I do need to fuzz my transfer. So I'm going to fuzz this real quickly. I think this is a beautiful project for fall, and I'm going to use the hot mess technique on it. I know I did that on my my leaf cutouts and my acorn cutouts, but it really, for the hot mess, a larger space to blend the colors is really a little bit more, I don't know, fitting, whatever, I don't know. So I think I'm going to get a little bit more drama color-wise. Basically, you fuzz your transfer to diminish the stickiness of it a little bit, so it doesn't stick as strongly as it would otherwise. Especially important if you are using something that's non-porous, like glass, metal, mirror, etc. So I'm just going to position this, smooth it down, make sure I don't have any air bubbles. If there's an air bubble, just lift it and smooth it down again. And I think that's fine. Even if it's crooked, it doesn't matter. It's a branch hanging, so what do I really care? And go copper for the actual branch. Okay, and I'm going to use copper for my wording, so it'll kind of pull it together. So I'm going to do the hot mess, but first, before I do the hot mess, I want to get the branch done, and I'm going to use the copper, and which I just actually used at my last project, and I'm going to use my multi-tool so that I've got a small mini squeegee in here, so I could just grab my paste and do the branch. I'm going to do a little bit of mixing up of colors tonight too. And then, because this is going to take me a little bit longer than a lot of my projects do, I'm going to do a little paste and peel here as I go along, so that I don't have an issue with my paste drying in my transfer and sticking to my surface. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer anything as we go along. And if there's any suggestions project-wise of things that you'd like to see, drop them in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking of. What do you like? What are your favorite types of projects? What would you like to see that I haven't done? I'm using my multi-tool here to do the branch, but if I get into a little tighter of a spot and I need something even smaller, I could switch over to my detail tool and use that to get into very little nooks and crannies that I might run into there. And if I get a little copper on the acorn or on the leaf, I'm not going to worry about it, because I'm going to use the copper for blending anyway. Paste and peel allows me to lift up the transfer and then lay it gently down again so that the paste is not dry on my surface. Did I forget to fuzz this transfer? Oh my goodness, I think I forgot to fuzz it. Or maybe I didn't fuzz it enough because it's pretty sticky here. I have a feeling I forgot to fuzz. Okay, if anybody saw me fuzzing, remind me, but I might not have. Oh, what not to do. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to keep your mind on what you're working on and talk and explain as you go along. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, I'm going to use the, oh, this is kind of dried. I was going to use my Shimmer Harvest. Let me add a little bit of water to it for my acorn caps. See if I could reconstitute this quickly, or I'll just wait on the acorn caps until a little bit later on. If your paste gets too thick, just add a little bit of distilled water to it and stir it up. You always want to use, oh, this is pretty hard. You always want to use distilled water so that the chemicals in your tap water don't interfere with the pigmentation of the paste. I am not going to use this. It's a little bit too hard. Let's see, I've got a color tray here. Let's do this. We'll do a little bit of my Sunny Side. And I'll mix that on up with a little bit of the copper and make my own colors. I don't need a whole lot here. Oh, maybe a little bit more than that. Mix that up and see what we're looking at. So yes, you can mix your own colors anytime you want to. Make them lighter, make them darker. Add a little white to just have multiple shades of the same thing. I think this is probably fine for my the bottom of the acorns. So let me work on that next. And then I'll do the paste and peel. I'll paste it and then peel it up again to make sure that nothing's drying. I don't want it to get stuck to my surface, and when I lift, I don't want the paste to kind of lift up. So this is basically the easiest way around it. Takes a little bit more time, but it's definitely well worth the results. Scoop some of that mixed up color off my transfer here. I think there's 6 acorns on here, so I want to make sure I catch all of them. I think I mixed up enough paste. Of course, if I don't, I guess I could mix a little bit more up, because they don't all have to be the exact same perfect shade. And then I want the caps to be a little bit darker, so I'll add a little bit more copper, but I don't want them to be the same copper as the branch, if that makes any sense. Okay. Oops, I've got one more. So definitely enough. And then I'm going to lift this up. Let it gently fall back down. Do my other acorns. Let that fall back down. So I'm going to add a little bit more copper there. When you're doing the hot mess or anything where you're switching back on colors, you just want to be careful that your tools are clean before you accidentally dip them into a jar of paste that's different from what is actually on your tool. So I'm going to add a little bit more in here of the copper. Mix that up and see if it's a little bit lighter than regular copper, but still a little bit different from the stems. Or stems, I don't mean the stems. What do I mean? The branches. Oh goodness. Long day, what could I say? This is very close. It might be the same color as the branch. We'll just work with it. What the heck, right? If I don't like it when I'm done, I could just spritz this with a little bit of water, erase it, and do that section over. No big deal. It's one way of saving money on surfaces. Just reuse them. If you're using chalkboard or dry erase or metal or mirror or glass, you can spritz your surface with some water when you tire of your design and wipe it up with a paper towel. Or spritz it with some water and use our board eraser. It's a little bit easier, a little bit quicker at removing the image. That way you don't have to have a bunch of surfaces or frames or whatever that you have to store as the seasons change. Just reuse them. Reuse them for the different holidays. Reuse them for different events. Whatever. Hi Deb, how you doing? I actually have used distilled water with the ink, but in general, whatever everybody I've heard has said they don't have to thin down their ink. I did have some ink, I'm thinking it was my Meadow, maybe 2 years ago, that was thick, and I did have to thin it down, and the distilled water worked fine. But I guess in general, the chalk paste is made from chalk, which, you know, is hard and dry and crumbly if you think about using chalk on a sidewalk, right? So the chalk paste has more of a tendency to dry out than the ink would, because the ink is not made from chalk. I just need to get in there with a little bit of this into a little tight area. It works a little bit better with the into my detail tool here. Let's get right up to it, the edge of that little cap. Okay. Again, I'm gonna lift, paste and peel. Just lift that up. Oh, don't those look nice? Pretty little acorns. Whoops. And then I'm going to do this one. Let it fall down again. And then it's time to start the leaves. Okay, I'm going to make sure this is down a little bit more snugly because I've lifted it twice. Well, actually 3 times, haven't I? Okay. So let me clean up my surface a little bit and see what I want to do. I want to use a little bit of the yellow. Make sure my stir stick is clean. I definitely want to use copper. Oops. I want to use my olive shimmer. And I think I want to use, is it my melon? No, I want to use my rust. No, shimmer pumpkin. It's kind of like my rust, but it's shimmery. Bet you wondered why I had all these stir sticks out here, right? Well, now you know. And then maybe my shimmer melon, it's a little bit lighter. You know what? I'm going to mix a color again. I'm going to just use my surface and mix a little bit of my yellow, my sunshine or whatever, with a little bit of my shimmer melon. I don't want it such a bright yellow. And would you believe it? I've run out of stir sticks. Let me clean one up here. Okay. I might need to mix a little bit more yellow in here. I don't want it real yellow. I don't want it bright, but I don't want it real... Oh, this is pretty good. Kind of like that deeper kind of, I don't know, kind of funky yellow color. That's fine. Exactly what I needed. Okay. So I'm going to mix my colors on my leaves. Are we doing Tipsy Tuesday? You know what? I really could use Tipsy Tuesday. I know there's a bottle of wine on the counter, but I really didn't think about it. I forgot that it was Tuesday again. Boy, that would have been smart, wouldn't it? I like doing Tipsy Tuesdays. I think they were fun. We haven't done one in a while, have we? Oh, wait, no, didn't I do last week? Did I do a Tipsy Tuesday? See, I'm really losing it. My sense of days has kind of, my time and days have kind of, things have merged to an odd, I don't know what to even, how to describe it with me. Such is life, right? Okay, my olive shimmer needs a little bit of still water. Let me mix that up and thin it down a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, your paste should be that whippy kind of sour cream, yogurt kind of consistency. And I want to be careful that I don't pick up another color paste on my little squeegee when I'm putting this down. If so, I'll just have to clean things up a little bit. Ooh, and I might have there. I need something to wipe this off on to actually get some, there we go, on the tip of my stir stick so that I could add it where I need it. There we go. By hook or by crook, what could I say? Oh, did I miss anything? I need a little bit more here. And I said I was a messy crafter. I am, definitely. Oops. Now, I want this color on this other leaf that I missed. I'll just dab it in here a little bit. Okay. So, what other colors did I need? I wanted to do... I didn't do my pumpkin by itself, so let me... Ooh, this is thick too. Let me spritz. Some of these I haven't used in a bit, so... And I have a tendency to leave my covers off, which helps your paste dry out. If you add too much distilled water and your paste is too liquid or too thin, just leave the cap off for a little bit. If you have to, leave the cap off overnight, and it'll thicken up. So it's not a problem. You'll get a feel for it. Okay, so my shimmer melon. Get this on the edge of my little stir stick. That'll help a lot. Okay. Okay, time for the fun part. I'm going to spritz my fingers with just a little bit of water. I don't want them runny, just slightly damp. And then I am going to gently mix up my paste. I don't want to muddy them. I want to keep the colors pretty much intact, but I want some blending. I want to be careful that I do not go over my branch. And you don't have to use your fingers if you want. You could actually use a squeegee, but I feel like I get better results if I use my fingers. It's funny, it seems like I have a little bit more control. Isn't that weird? Okay. And I'm going to need a little bit more paste there, possibly. Now, anything I scrape off, I cannot use. I mean, I can't put back in a jar because it's a mixture of colors. If I wanted to use it and store it, I could put it in another container. But to actually put it back in the containers that I've already, you know, my pure colors, my unadulterated colors, it wouldn't make sense. Okay, this looks pretty good. I'm not going to scrape very much. Just take that off. And now it's time for peel and reveal. Let me clean my fingers before I lift this up. And then, of course, I need to add my wording at the bottom. And I just see I missed a little spot right there. Here we go. Excuse me. Squeegee. I see something here that isn't right. Let me go over that. If you see any issues when you lift up, fix them now. Oh, I think that turned out pretty nice. Nice blending of colors, kind of cheery looking. Pretty, actually. I'm going to set this to the side to dry for a second. I'm going to grab my other portion of my transfer with the wording and definitely going to fuzz it. And then we'll be done with this. Yes, I know my fingers didn't get a lick and a promise. I didn't clean them very well. Just trying to kind of wrap this up quickly. And then I don't know if I would put some jute or some rope around the top or what. I'm not quite sure of what I want to do with that. I just want to make this, sure this is lined up. Okay. And then I'm going to come back with my copper. Clean squeegee. Oops, I got a big squeegee. Oh well, it'll work. It's actually our small squeegee. This is our small, the other ones are our minis. And not so easy to stick this into my jar here. So, best to just use the stir stick to get it out of the jar. Want to make sure I get the tops and the bottoms of my letters. And it looks like I have my own little audience here. Okay, remove any excess, smooth away any lines. Oops, I missed the top right there, caught it. Lid. Somewhere I have a copper lid. I'm just not seeing it. Oh well, okay. Okay. Mighty Oaks from Tiny Acorns Grow. What do you think? I know I'm picking up a little bit shadow there, but what do you think of the blending of colors? Didn't that hot mess turn out nice? So I'm going to set this aside to dry. As it dries, the shimmer will sparkle a little bit more. It'll pick up a little bit more shine than you're seeing right now. I think it's a sign perfect for autumn. Go ahead, check out the Black Friday thing. I left the link in the first comment. Any questions, just drop them in the comments. If you are not a member of my VIP group and would like to be privy to additional videos, tips, tricks, and the occasional game or two, drop the letters VIP in the comment and I will send you the link. My VIP group, there's no obligation whatsoever. It's open to everyone other than designers. It's closed to designers because it's company policy. If you think you might like to do what I do, drop the word team in the comments and I will send you a link to a no obligation video. Hope you would have enjoyed this. See you soon.